Today is all about gingerbread Christmas decor. Today I'm excited to be joining Indy Annie Jones for Christmas Palooza. You'll find her channel as well as the playlist listed in the description box below. Let's start with the gingerbread cabin. These are Lincoln logs I found at a thrift store, and I'm going to simply build a house with only a door. There were no doors, windows, or a roof with this set, but that's okay, we're going to make our own. I am using hot glue to secure all the logs together. I rarely measure anything. I would rather use a pattern, so I'm using a piece of paper to make a pattern for my rooftop. I'm then tracing my pattern onto one of these project boards from Dollar Tree. Once I have it cut out, I'm deciding where the middle is so that I can make a good fold. Now we need a pattern for the rest of the roof. I am going to cut some little notches that match up with the logs. Once I have the notches cut in, I'm going to glue the pieces together. Originally, I wanted my house top to be the cardboard color to kind of match the logs, but then I decided later to paint it white. So it would have been easier to flip it the other way and keep it white to begin with. And because I did not keep it white, I am having to go in with some paint, so you would definitely save a step just to keep it the other way. I am painting the inside of the roof with Cinnamon by Folk Art. The rooftop I'm painting with Waverly White. It did take 2 coats for both of these paints. Now I'm going in with some puff paint in between the logs to make it look like icing or snow or whatever holds log cabins together. I am using a couple of different sizes of dot stickers from Dollar Tree. I started out painting these in a pattern and then lost track of what I was doing. But now I'm adding a string of beads. I painted every other one red. These larger stickers I'm going to paint red, white, and green and add them to the roof. Again, this did take a couple of coats of paint to cover. Once they were dry, I simply added them to the roof, and I did have to go back and touch up that white a little bit more. Now back to these smaller stickers. I'm going to be placing a row of those along the front edge of the house. Now to embellish the front of the house, I'm using a Dollar Tree straw and one of the red styrofoam balls from the bowl filler. Since there was no door with this set of Lincoln logs, I'm using one of these pieces of chocolate from the toy section in Dollar Tree. And I have added one of these candy bows to the front of it. And then it's ready to glue on. The cinnamon color paint is an exact match for the logs. Now I'm going to embellish the roof just a little bit more with one of these peppermint ornaments from Hobby Lobby. Every gingerbread house needs some gingerbread people, so I'm adding these that I got from the miniature ornament section at Hobby Lobby. Dollar Tree does have larger gingerbread people. I think this is such a cute little cabin and a new twist on gingerbread houses. If you have priced any of the tree collars that are new and trendy these days, they can be quite pricey. We are going to make our own today for potentially $2. The only materials you will actually need for this DIY is one of the project boards from Dollar Tree and one of Dollar Tree's white paint pens. You will see me use a couple of other materials, but it's certainly not necessary. As I said earlier, I'm not one to measure much. I do not like math, so I don't want to have to figure anything, so I prefer to make patterns. So this entire DIY is actually a series of paper folding. I designed my pattern on paper and then traced it onto my cardboard. I'm using a box cutter, but you could use a pair of scissors just as easily. I traced around wood blocks to make my windows and doors. Then I traced them with a white paint pen. I did end up thickening the lines on the front of the house. Since one end of the cardboard did have words and the UPC and all of that on it, I decided to paint the ends of the house white. I was able to still see my pencil drawings through the white paint. I decided to paint the roof of the center house white just to tie it all together. Now I'm going to go back and add some embellishments with my white paint pen to the rooftops and also to draw some wreaths and candles in the windows. Now back to those two white houses. I decided to use the scrap pieces from the cardboard that I cut out earlier and to cut my doors and windows out of this. I added some embellishments with my white paint pen, including the candle in the windows. Once these had all dried, I simply hot glued them to the houses. You could stop here with this project as it is, but I had some white yarn that I wanted to add along the roof lines and also around the doors. And here's a look at the finished project. And here it is under my tree. These are all wood cutouts from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be giving them a coat of paint, I believe in cinnamon. Now I'm going to give our faux cookie some detail with a white paint pen. Now I'm going to do the same with this Merry Christmas banner from Dollar Tree. Now I'm using a Dollar Tree wreath form and greenery from Dollar Tree to add some color. I'm simply twisting the greenery around the wreath form. Now I am going back with some floral wire and wiring the top of the greenery to the form. A little bit of hot glue is all it takes to attach these faux cookies to the wreath. I did have to flip it over to make sure that they were attached and add a little bit more glue each time. And I did need to hold them in place for a few minutes while the glue set. I got this idea off of Pinterest, and I think it's very similar to the one I saw there. I'm using some jumbo popsicle sticks and my miter shears. I'm cutting one end straight and the other one I'm making into a point. So I'm going to need a total of 5 of these. Now I'm going to paint all 5 of these arrows plus a dowel rod and a square wood base piece in that cinnamon paint. I'm using my white paint pen to kind of give myself a guide of where I want my faux icing to go. I'm going to be using caulk for the icing. Once I have iced all of my arrows, I'm going to add some tiny candy pieces from Hobby Lobby. These are back in the jewelry section. And I also have some little tiny sprinkles that I made with clay. I did let these dry overnight before adding my words to the signs. I cut these words out using my Cricut Joy, but you could use stickers from Dollar Tree or even that white paint pen. Now I will use hot glue to connect the signs to the dowel rod. I also drilled a hole in the base to put the dowel rod. I did secure it with a little bit of hot glue as well. And here's a look at it along with my gingerbread log cabin that I did in my last gingerbread video. I hope you've enjoyed Christmas Palooza, hosted by Indiana Jones. Be sure and check out our channel in the description box along with the playlist. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the sheet. Bye now.